Hi, my name is Michaela Lockmuller. I am a sophomore here at Grace, and I'm going to share with you part of my life that has affected me every single day and continues to grow and shape me. So when I was a sophomore in high school, so I was 15 years old, I was washing my hands and I looked up and I saw a massive bump on my neck. I got very anxious and nervous and I got super confused, and so I ran outside to tell my mom. And my mom saw it, and I could tell by the look in her eyes. She was just as worried as I was. We walked down the street and went to talk to my neighbor, who was a nurse, and she looked at it and instantly said, "You need to go to a doctor now." Now. So off we went. We went as quickly as possible and went to a ReadyMed nearby. They told me that it was either an issue with my thyroid or really swollen lymph nodes or something completely else, but they weren't capable of telling me what it was. So we then made an appointment with our doctor and we got it tested because they instantly recognized it as something that is a thyroid base. They told me that most likely I would just have hyperthyroidism and it wouldn't be a big deal, and this mass would just be a cyst. It would be benign. And so they took a flask of liquid out of my neck. The needle, no joke, was at least this long. Very intimidating, even for somebody that doesn't mind needles. And they sent it away and it came back non-diagnostic. So we did it again, non-diagnostic, and less than 0.01% of results come back non-diagnostic for this test. So they told me they had to treat it as if it was cancer. But regardless of whether or not I had cancer, I had a hot nodule. So I had hyperthyroidism, and that means your thyroid produces too many hormones. So some symptoms of that can be like super crazy energetic, sweat a lot, very thin, and all of these I kind of always had, so I never really noticed a difference. But once I got my thyroid removed, then, as you can see by the scar on my neck, I went extremely hypothyroidism. So that is where your thyroid is an underactive. So I only have about 25% of a thyroid, which is not enough to sustain the amount of hormones you need. And so when I went from hyper to hypo, I experienced a bunch of different symptoms that I had never experienced before. I was extremely fatigued, like so fatigued I would sleep for 12 hours and I would wake up and I would be so tired after like an hour of being awake. I would have to go back to bed. I gained weight. I just was really slow and sluggish and didn't feel like doing anything and lost interest in things I had always had interest in. And what's crazy is not that many people know so much about your thyroid when the American Thyroid Association estimates around 20 million people have some form of a thyroid issue. So now, in case you're wondering how I'm doing, I'm all right. I take thyroid medicine every morning. And I have a bunch of other pills I have to be on to help regulate my hormones as well. And this is just something that I live with daily. And I think what this taught me being so young is that God will be by your side and help you through whatever trial He will put your way. Because if you can imagine being 15 years old, being told you might have cancer, that you're going to have to undergo major surgery, that you'll most likely be on medication for the rest of your life, which I am, that is terrifying. But I prayed to God for peace. I prayed to God for wisdom. I prayed to God that He would provide me with the strength to do His work, to be a testimony for Him. And every day, I pray a thank you to God that I didn't have cancer and that I was able to make it through that trying time in my life with the support of my family and friends. But I think my biggest takeaway from that experience is God will give you peace even in the scariest, strangest time.